Now, most men don't realize when they're simping, and it's costing them respect, attraction, and their sanity. Don't click away. Let's find out if you, yes, you watching me right now, are a simp. Jessica OS here. Welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to break down the top signs that you're a simp. Behaviors that women notice immediately and quietly lose respect for. By the end, you'll know exactly where you stand, what to do if you recognize yourself in these habits, and so much more. You ready? Let's jump in. The first sign that shows you're a simp is you spend money on her without commitment. Taking a woman out for dinner is fine, but if you're constantly shelling out cash on dates, gifts, rides, and little treats for a woman who hasn't even made it clear that she wants to be with you, well, congratulations, you're her sponsor. Guys, women can smell when a guy is trying to purchase his way into her heart, and instead of making her attracted, it flips the switch in her brain that says, well, I'll take the benefits, but I'll never take him seriously. Think about it. Would you trust a business partner who keeps giving you money even when you've given nothing back or your business is failing? Of course not. You'll see them as a pushover. Same logic here. You pay for her Uber home, you cover her drinks. Next week, you're dropping $150 on a dinner date. But meanwhile, she's still texting other guys, still posting half-naked pictures for attention online, and hasn't once said, I want you. You're just funding her lifestyle, basically. A high-value man invests in a woman after she's chosen him, not as a bribe to make her choose him. If she's not committed, if she's not reciprocating, then your wallet should stay closed. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying never spend money. What I'm saying is don't spend it recklessly. Make sure she's matching your energy. A woman who's genuinely interested will want to contribute in her own way. It could be maybe by cooking a meal for you, bringing you coffee, or just showing genuine forms of appreciation. But if the only thing she's offering is her company in exchange for your money, well, you're not her boyfriend, you're basically her ATM. And don't see it any other way. Sign number 2, you apologize for things that aren't your fault. When you say sorry every time there's tension, even if you didn't do anything wrong, you're not fixing the relationship, you're training her. Training her to believe that you'll accept blame for everything she does, no matter what. And once she knows that, guess what's gonna happen? She can pin anything on you and you'll fold. She gets mad because you didn't text back instantly. You're at work, grinding, focused on your life, but instead of saying, well, relax, babe, you say, oh, sorry, I should have texted faster. What message did you just send her? That your time and focus don't matter. That her feelings always outrank your reality. That's simp behavior, my brother. Funny thing is, women don't actually want a man who bows every time they frown. I mean, it feels good in the moment, sure, but long term, it kills her respect. A woman respects a man who can calmly stand his ground even when she's emotional. Think about it this way. If she disrespects you and you still apologize, you flip the roles. You're chasing her approval instead of expecting her to meet you at your level. Owning up when you're wrong is strength, but apologizing for existing or having boundaries or for doing regular normal things is weakness. So here's a test. The next time she accuses you of something you didn't do or blows up over nothing, are you man enough to say, no, that's not on me? Or do you take the easy route and beg for forgiveness? One keeps her attracted, the other keeps you in simp territory. Sign number 3, you defend her when she's clearly wrong. Now this is what I call the simp's badge of honor. Standing up for her no matter what, even when she's out of line. And it feels noble in the moment, but in reality, you're not protecting her, you're protecting her bad behavior. Let's make this real with an example. Let's say she starts an argument with a waiter in a restaurant because basically the order's late. Now, instead of telling her to calm down, you jump in like her lawyer, or worse, you start blaming the waiter too, just to keep her smiling. Maybe you know there was a genuine problem that went on behind the scenes. Another one, maybe she's on Instagram posting half-naked thirst traps while she's supposed to be with you. Your boys clown you for it, but instead of checking her, you say, well, she's just expressing herself, don't hate. Bro, that's not defending your woman, that's defending disrespect. Here's what's happening. Every time you shield her from accountability, you're telling her that she can do whatever she wants and you'll still be there, waving the pom-poms like a nice, respectful little cheerleader. You've become her hype man. Don't get it twisted. Supporting a woman when she's under real attack is loyalty, but backing her even when she's acting wild, toxic, or flat out disrespectful is simping. So ask yourself, when was the last time you told a woman, nah, that's not okay? Because if the answer is never, you're not protecting your relationship, you're just protecting your fear of losing her. And that fear is what makes a man easy to control. You're a simp. Sign 4, you chase harder when she pulls away. Now this is classic simp behavior. And the sad part is most guys don't even realize they do it. She starts getting distant. Texts that used to be paragraphs are now one-word replies. Calls that used to last an hour suddenly go unanswered. And instead of matching her energy, what do? You panic. You blow up her phone, you double text, you check in. Hey, are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? You know? Let me be clear. Chasing harder when she pulls away doesn't bring her back. Okay, what it does is it actually pushes her further away because desperation smells. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man acting like he needs her more than she needs him. Picture this. She hasn't replied all day. Instead of moving on with your life, you're staring at your screen, cooking up the perfect message to get her attention. Meanwhile, guess what? She's on TikTok ignoring you and probably texting another guy who isn't begging for her time. You see, when a woman pulls back, she's testing to see how solid you are. Do you crumble and chase, or do you stay centered and let her come to you? The simp chases. The high-value man keeps his frame. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should ghost her back or play childish games. What I'm saying is this. Don't reward distance with more attention. If she's pulling back, give her space. Focus on your own life, your grind, and your purpose. That silence will tell her more about your value than any desperate text ever could. Sign number 5. You let her control the relationship narrative. Now, this is where a lot of men silently hand over their power without realizing it. She's the one deciding whether you're just talking, whether you're exclusive, or keeping it casual. And you're just sitting there waiting for her verdict. If you ask me, that's simp territory. If you let her dictate the status of the relationship, you've already positioned yourself as a passenger. She's the driver steering the car, and you're in the backseat hoping that she takes you where you need to go. Spoiler alert, she won't. Example, you're acting like a boyfriend, yeah? Buying gifts, investing your time, showing up whenever she needs you. But when someone asks if she's your girl, she says, oh, no, we're just friends. And you accept it. Why? Because you don't want to rock that boat. Or worse, she hits you with, oh, let's not put labels on this. Let's see where this relationship goes. And instead of setting the terms yourself, you nod and go along with it. Bro, that's fear. You're not confident. The fear you're feeling is the fear of losing her. Now here's the psychology behind this. Women are naturally drawn to leaders. Not control freaks, but men who set direction, make decisions, and know exactly what they want. If you give her the pen to write the entire script of your relationship, she'll enjoy the power, but she won't respect you. Now, this doesn't mean you bulldoze her or ignore her input. It means you take the lead in defining where things are going. You're the one who decides, I'm not treating this like a relationship unless it's official. You set the boundaries. You choose the pace. Because if you don't lead, she'll either put you in the just friends box or keep you as a backup option guy while another guy takes the main role. Sign number 6, you're afraid to say no. If every time she asks for something, your time, your money, your attention, you automatically say yes, you're not being kind, you're being controlled. Think about it. She says, can you drive me across town? You're tired, you just got off work, and better yet have work in the morning as well, but you do it anyway. She says, can you buy me this? You hesitate, but you still swipe that card. She says, come over right now, and you cancel on your boys to prove how dedicated you are. That's not love, bro. That's obedience. Here's the truth. Women test men by asking for things. You see, it's not always about the thing itself necessarily. It's about whether you have the backbone to say no. When you never push back, you fail the test. And once she sees you can't stand up for yourself, her respect drops faster than you can imagine. Picture this scenario. She's giving you the silent treatment, but then suddenly asks you to do her a favor. The simp will just jump onto it and, hope that once he does this, it will fix things. The man with standards says, nah, not until we talk about what's going on. One response gets walked over, the other builds respect. Saying no doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means valuing your own time, energy, and boundaries. When you occasionally tell her no, it signals strength. It shows her you're not scared to lose her approval, and paradoxically, that makes her respect you more. Remember this, a man who can't say no is a man who gets used. A man who can say no, that's the man she thinks twice about crossing. Sign number 7, you sacrifice your masculinity just to keep her. Now, this is the deadliest form of simping because it doesn't happen all at once. It actually happens slowly, piece by piece, until you wake up one day and don't recognize yourself. It starts small. You skip hanging out with your boys because she gets mad when you're not around, right? You stop playing your favorite sport because basically she says that, well, that's childish. You drop your hobbies, you drop your passions, your purpose, all in the name of keeping this woman happy. At first glance, she might smile. She might say, "Oh, you're so sweet." But deep down, she feels it. She fell for the guy who had ambition, who went to the gym, who had friends and plans. But months later, you've turned into a shell of that man. Staying home, binge watching shows you don't even like just because that's what she wanted. Do you think that keeps her interested? Do you? Really? No, it kills her respect. Attraction comes from strength, from independence, from having a spine. When you raise yourself to keep her, you're not showing love, you're showing fear. Compromise in a relationship is normal, but sacrifice of your masculinity, your friends, your goals, your mission is the ultimate simp move. A real man keeps his frame, keeps his identity, and invites her into his world. He doesn't abandon himself to orbit hers. And the bottom line is this: if you have to kill who you are to keep her, she's not keeping you out of love. She is, however, keeping you out of convenience. And finally, sign number 8. You put her above yourself every time. I say this for last because it's the ultimate simp move. Always putting her on a pedestal while you shrink into the background. And the thing is, it doesn't look like strength or love to her. It looks like weakness. Let's be real. If you're constantly bending your schedule around hers, dropping your priorities, canceling plans just because she might need you, right? You're training her to believe that her time is more valuable than yours. I'll give you an example. Okay, say she texts you, "Hey, I'm bored, come over." You've got an early morning meeting, but you throw on your shoes and drive all the way across town to see her. Now, do you think she's impressed? Well, maybe. But on the other hand, she's also thinking, wow, this guy has nothing better going on in his life. And women don't fall for a man they control. They fall for the man they have to earn. Women respect a man who has boundaries. Remember this: if she knows all she has to do is snap her fingers and you come running, you're just turning herself into a fan, not her man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying never put her first. In truth, putting her first sometimes is healthy. But if it's every time, if it's at your own expense, that's when you cross the line from a caring boyfriend to a full-grown simp. I only teach you the truth here. The bottom line is this: a simp is a man who gives up his power for a woman who hasn't earned it. Respect isn't given to the man who bends the most. It's given to the man who stands tall even when it's hard. Now, listen, if you want to flip the script and have women chasing you instead, watch this next video on how to get her to chase you back 90% of the time. That one will change the game for you. And better yet, if you're a man who simps only because you lack general confidence, then you absolutely want to take part in my digital course called 30 Days to Confidence. It is a course that has hundreds of men signed up and is changing their lives one tutorial at a time. Allow me to help build your confidence in every single aspect, from relationships to business to every interaction you can imagine. Link in this video's description. My name is Jessica OS. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.